Good morning. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Thursday, August 7th, 2025. We had a technical breakdown of a wedge on the 65 minute. So I want to make sure that we look at all of our indicators on this bounce here. We knew that there would be a bunch of buyers with this bounce. So it went deeper to the 786 retracement. That's almost 80% of the down move retraced. And so, that's not unusual on a wave 2 pullback, getting everybody bullish. So I do believe that our reversal is in, and we're doing this intraday about 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, it might be able to help with your trading decisions, or maybe you can learn off of some of these indicators. And if you're new here, go down to that bottom right-hand corner, hit that OptionsTender logo and subscribe. Thanks for joining us here. We have SPX. We're going to go on the daily and 65 and check out the VIX, and we'll leave this alone. All right. So we did put on a couple of a series of trades today, puts on Tesla, SMH, QQQ, SPY, and looking good so far. Let's see if we get some follow through. All right. And those trades, I did go over those. I'll put the video up top. That's for $4.99 membership per month. It's nothing, but I want to share with the masses. Okay. So we have our moving averages. We're testing those right now. We have the 8 and the 20 moving average. Let's see if we break down back down to that. But at this point, visually, we have a bullish posture. What we're trying to figure out is, after this move, we're getting an equilibrium. Will we break down from this equilibrium or break up? Here's the 2008 trend line we're rejecting off of. We had a fake break and then a back test of that rejection of that trend line there. This trend line does matter. Okay. And I've been calling this the danger zone. And we'll see if we break down from that danger zone pretty soon. I have this little minor trend line here that was held for the bounce. And then we should see that breakdown going into next week. We might get an inside week this week. Not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. But next week we should see some follow through. Okay, so there's the moving averages. Calling oscillator. Here's our breadth indicator. Still in bearish territory. We did get the bounce here. Again, I think this is going to make either a lower low or a higher low back into these points, and then we can start building some positive divergence. What we're looking for, I'm looking for a 5-wave move down. Okay. What the bulls are looking for is a 3-wave move. All right. Or an A, B, C. And this can go as deep as 6,000 and even more than that, really. So we'll keep an eye on it. That's why we do these each and every day. So make sure you hit that notification bell to get these. Breadth is bad. We got bad breadth. Here's our setup here for the MACD. It's rolling over. Momentum. We're losing momentum. We're getting the bounce here. We're back to neutral. Do we go higher or break down from here? It's typical when you're in a downtrend over here, for example, that you continue to stay pretty much underneath that neutral 50 area. And, obviously with the bounce here, that was a major bounce for this move, even though it didn't go that far, and it only made it barely up to that 70 point before breaking back down. We have the slow stoke heading upwards with the bounce. This has to roll back over to get some momentum to the downside, but kind of in that bearish territory. So is this where we roll over? That's what we'll be watching in the next couple days here, couple trading days. DMARC. We have a 2 count so far, no setup. Awesome oscillator, rolling over almost to the neutral point. Let's go over to SPY so we can check out the money flow index. All right, is money flowing in or out? That's the big question. So we caught the reversal here. Again, that took a very, very long time, but on this indicator in hindsight, that it does exactly what it's supposed to every single time, whether you're bullish or bearish, it catches those moves there. And this identified another reversal. So money is still flowing out, even with the bounce that happened here. That does not look good. Here's our Bollinger Band getting really tight price action here. So is it going to push the band up on a breakout, or is it going to push the band lower? We'll see. I think lower. The LA oscillator, again, after that high here, we did not make a new high. That was wave 3 into wave 5. Or B into C. It doesn't really matter. Depends how you count things, but it is signifying that the move is over. All right, let's go to check out the VIX. All right, the VIX is looking good here. Made a new low. Nice reversal candle. And in my opinion, just back testing. And again, this is a zone. You can draw this. You can put a little channel here if you want to, where you connect those highs. And not perfect, but if you connect those highs there, that's kind of a zone. We hit the top of that zone. We're back testing right now. Could it go a little lower? Sure, you have a zone here, right? And then you have some cycle lows here. So we'll see. We'll see if we can, maybe pop to new high. That's what I'm looking for, is a pop to new high. And then a quick drop, not to new lows, but during the cycle low to get a drop, and then we continue higher. We shall see. In other words, we're in an uptrend. Okay. I want to see another, maybe get a low in that dominant phase and continue to go higher. Anything else? Moving averages, sometimes I forget to show those. We're holding that 20 moving average even though we spiked through it. Now we're fighting with the 8 EMA right now and the 50. Let's see what happens at this point. It's kind of a decision point there. All right, let's check. And if you want to see where my targets are and all of those, check out the weekend video. That'll give you an upper view of what I'm looking for more in the long run, and give you both sides of the trade. Whether you're bullish or bearish, it gives you both scenarios that I'm looking at. Now, SPY on the 65. Again, we're not going to go through all of the different looks there for bullish and bearish. I'm just giving you the indicators today. You can go back before there. So there's our wedge. You can go back to the weekend video. Again, I'll post it up top. So we have all these wedges that are forming, right? And then they break down, but we're in an uptrend. Is this going to continue that same idea? I think that this is more of a bear flag now, and it's kind of proving itself to not be something like this, but to fall short from the top here, rejecting off the 786 retracement. And I think that's now breaking down from the bear flag. And you might see a little bit of a back test today to form some sort of candle, indecision candle or so, or cloud cover candle on the daily time frame. But let's look at our indicators here. See, we broke down from this point. So we back test up here? That's very possible. From the 5 minute, I'm not going to go down there, but from the 5 minute, it looks like this was a 5-wave impulse move. So we could back test some of this. So our moving averages are getting real tight here. That's signifying a big move incoming. So is that the upside or downside? Again, I think it's a bias to the downside. If you're a bull, you want to see one more move here, because I think this is pretty apparent that you have a 5-wave move here, then a correction, and then a 5-wave move here within a wedge. I think that's a zigzag, okay, which is very typical for a wave 2. And then I think the continuation lower going on to tomorrow into next week will occur. Let's bring up the MACD. So we had that bullish move here. We're just getting over bear territory. I think this is the point where we continue to move lower. We're getting ready to cross here. So we want to pay attention to that 65 minute going into tomorrow, see if we get a cross there to continue lower. And so we're starting to see the slow stoke first crossover, and I do think this will continue to do so. Again, this is very sensitive here. We want to see both of them moving the same way. So when this was moving up, the slow stoke with the bullish crossover here, you saw a nice move, okay? And that quickly cycled with that correction and did it again. So that gave us our our zigzag move here. And now we want to pay attention to a bear cross. DMARC. Okay, so we are now starting a count to the downside once again. Let's see if we get some follow through coming in the next few days. Awesome oscillator, managed to bull territory after this bounce. But again, that's not unusual for us to get slightly over the bullish area and then head lower. So we'll see if this continues higher or if this starts to break down again. Money flow index. All right, so with this back test here, maybe we get a lower high here, but we get a higher high. That would be a hidden divergence there with the money flow index. We'll see what happens, but if it just continues to roll over, that was a bearish divergence that we had here. We made a new high today, but made a lower high here. So we'll see what happens. Again, it could be, I'll change this arrow to purple if we have a hidden divergence there. We make a new, a lower high for the bounce and then a higher high for the money flow. Bollinger Band. So we did have a sell signal on here. After the expansion, we're getting a tighter Bollinger Band again. After the spike up into the Bollinger Band with overbought situation, that's a sell signal in itself. Do we go back up here to test and meet our happy place here at the options expected move? That's possible before getting a follow through tomorrow. And L8 oscillator, again, that was... There's nothing really to set up on here with this this move, but we did have the wave 3 into wave 5 on the very low time frame right here that gave us that reversal. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out that video for the weekly analysis, and I'll put that right now.